Good afternoon, family. It's good to see all of you, and I wish I could be with you for our annual senior luncheon sponsored by the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce, Lloyd Williams. This has been a very difficult year, I know. We have suffered a pandemic of a proportion that we had never imagined before. Many of us lost family members, we lost friends, we lost neighbors. But today we're standing tall. We're standing united because we made it this far to get through COVID-19. I'm happy that we're able to celebrate Harlem Week. Even though it's remotely, we're celebrating our culture, our history, the impact that we've had, not just on what has occurred in New York City, but also in the state, in the country, in fact, in the world. I wish sincerely that I could hug each and every one of you, for we deserve a hug, but know and feel the remote hug that I am giving out to each of you today as we celebrate, once again, Harlem Week. Thank you, Vosa. Thank you to the entire board, Winston, and of course, our president, Lloyd Williams. Thank you. Be safe. Practice social distancing. Wear a mask. Fill out your census form. And remember that there are some changes. Call my office because there's some changes. 212-866-5809. There are some changes that will be done for in anticipation of voting. Thank you, and God bless.
Hello, welcome. My name is Erica Banks Alvarez, and I'm excited to teach you this Shaktinam chair yoga class. So Shaktinam is a type of yoga that not only uses the physical and the breath practice that is familiar in other types of yoga like Hatha and Vinyasa, but it also connects with a lot of subtle energy work through pranayama, through mudras, mantras. All of the music that you hear during this class is designed to be very healing and uplifting and energizing. So I invite you to listen to your body as we go through class. Move in the ways that are right for you. I'll try to give you variations, levels to move at, but always move in a way that's right for you. And if something is not right for you to do, feel free to just sit and listen and breathe and watch, stay mindful and present, and jump back in when it's appropriate. So to get started, I like to start with rubbing the hands. I do this because it brings energy, that subtle energy that I talked about, from the heart down the arms into the hands, where it can be used for all good sorts of things. Interlace the fingers as you rub to get energy in between the fingers, to get heat in between the fingers. Get the backs of the hands to wake up the backs of the hands as well. All the while you're taking nice deep breaths in and out. And then fingernails. Rub the fingernails gently, lovingly. And I'm going to invite you to come back to rubbing the palms together as fast as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands here. I call this middle pillar. And I like to bring the middle fingers in just a little bit extra. It helps to ground the energy. If you close your eyes and let your breath be easy and natural, you might notice sensations between your hands or anywhere in your body. We like those sensations. We just notice them. On your next inhale, pull the hands apart. Try to stretch that energy. Keep feeling the energy between the hands. Exhale to come back to middle pillar. Inhale to expand, to pull the energy apart. Exhale, return. One more time. Inhale, expand. Exhale, return. This time you're going to bring your hands all the way together into prayer pose or namaste. And I like to rest the thumbs at the base of the throat, there on the collarbone. We're going to take 3 ohms, and this is to ground and center ourselves. So you're sitting center, you're going to inhale deep. And then interlace the fingers in front of your solar plexus. I'm gonna chant a mantra or a song called Triple Mantra. And this is a song that brings in a lot of light energy and healing energy. And when you hear the word such, I want you to pull the belly in and the pelvic floor up. You're gonna squeeze all down here on the word such and then release it. And this is really good to build up your pelvic floor, your low abs. And it's also good energetically to use that light energy that we're singing in to break up any blockages that you might have. Mental blocks, energetic blocks, even physical blocks on some levels. So here we go. Deep breath in. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Guru Devan Name, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebi Sacha Nanaka Hosi Bi Sach, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebe Sacha Nanaka Hosi Be Sach. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Guru Devan Name, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebi Sacha Nanaka Hosi Bi Sach, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebe Sacha Nanaka Hosi Be Sach. Last time. Adgure Name, Jugadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Guru Devan Name, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebi Sacha Nanaka Hosi Bi Sach, Ad Sach Jugad Sacha Hebe Sacha Nanaka Hosi Be Sach. Deep breath in. Hold the breath in. Squeeze that root lock nice and tight. Hold, hold, hold. Reach the hands up and then... You want to shake that energy out. Relax your hands on your lap when you're done. Close your eyes. Again, take a few breaths in and out here. Just listening to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. And then keeping your eyes closed, especially right now in this time of COVID and lung capacity and wanting to keep our lungs healthy and strong, I like to do a 3-part breath. This is to help us strengthen our lungs. I want you to do your best. What I'm going to do is count to 10. So I'm going to count, it's going to actually be to 9. You're going to hear me say something and then I'll start again. So you're going to inhale on a 10 count. You're going to hold the breath on a 10 count, and you're going to exhale on a 10 count. Now, I'm going to count for you, so all you have to do is listen to your body and let your breath try to join in. If for some reason 10 is not a number that really works for you yet, that's okay. Take catch breaths as you need to. Just jump in and do your best. So your eyes should be closed now. And you're just gonna take a few natural breaths while we get settled. Okay, slowly inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold the breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slowly exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold the breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let your breath just be natural in and out. Check in, listen to your mind, listen to your body. And then take a deep breath in. Put a smile on your face. Open your eyes on your exhale. Woo-hoo! Okay, we're gonna move the body a little bit in a lot of different directions. And again, I'm gonna try to give you some levels. Listen to your body and do what feels right for you. So I'm gonna start us with a spinal flex. So that's when you round the spine and arch the spine. It's like you're making a wave with your spine. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see what my spine is doing, but you can stay facing the screen. So you're gonna round the spine and arch the spine. And you can do this small at first, and then as your spine gets more flexible, you can go further into it. Don't force this, keep it nice and easy. You're tucking the pelvis, you're returning the pelvis. You're bringing the shoulder blades apart and together. You're pulling the belly in. You know, it's just all connected. This is a great full body stretch. The spine is really one of our most important structures in our body because everything connects to the brain through the spinal cord. So keeping this area flexible and healthy is really, really important. So smile, listen to your body, use your breath. I like to inhale as I arch, exhale as I round. Inhale and exhale. Just a few more. Oh, this is a good one. Last two. Last one. Nice. Sit up nice and tall. So we got our spine, let's get our neck. So we're gonna bring the hands into prayer pose here at the heart. We're gonna inhale long and tall through the neck. Exhale, turn and look to one side. Inhale to come back center. Exhale, turn and look to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Okay, slight change. Inhale, center. Exhale, one ear toward that same shoulder. You're gonna find a side stretch in your neck. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side, ear toward the shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend. Oh, yes. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale the head up nice and tall. Exhale, look up. Stretch the front of the neck. So I'm not just tilting my my head back. I'm really stretching it up. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch down. Stretch the back of the neck. Inhale, center. Exhale, up. Inhale, center. Exhale, down. Nice. Inhale, center. We're gonna move to the arms here. You're gonna inhale, open your arms nice and wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Notice which arm is on top. On your next inhale, stretch back, and then exhale, bring the other arm on top. Find that hug. You're gonna hold the hug as you inhale, exhale, maybe move around a little bit. We're gonna do that again each side. So inhale, open. Exhale, close. Woohoo! And last time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Nice. While we're here, we're gonna bring our hands forward. We're gonna inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, wrists up, exhale, wrists down. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring the hands up, bring the thumb on the inside, wrap the fingers around the thumb. This is called Shakti Mudra, or hand seal. We're gonna circle. This is really good for the brain. And of course, it's opening up the wrists. Other direction, just let the breath take care of itself for this one. Nice. Then we're gonna, so this was nice wrist opener. Let's do a shoulder opener, or shoulder girdles. You can have your hands down here by the side and do a little back stroke. If you want a little deeper, you can take the elbow into it. Again, the breath is managing itself. Or if you want to get really big into it, you can take the whole arm. So do the variation that works for your shoulder mobility. And then go forward. Same thing. Forward. You can add the elbow if you want. You can add the arm if you want. Do whatever version works for you. And then come center. Oh, yes. We're going to bring our hands forward. We're going to receive and give. Give and receive. I like to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. And to the side. So, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Put them together. So, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands in front of your solar plexus here. We're going to take our legs wide. So you have a wider stance or external rotation here. We're going to inhale around and exhale to come back, sitting up nice and tall. Now this can stay small and be more of, upper body work and like a stable lower body. Or if you want to go farther, if your lower back and your pelvic floor says that's good, you can inhale, you can lean into this, and then exhale, pull yourself back up. Listen to your body, do the variation that works for you. Maybe start small and move bigger. So inhaling to come forward, exhaling to come back up. Inhaling, circle forward, exhale, circle back up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Other direction. Inhale, exhale, inhale. You can do your own pace, that's fine. Two more. Last one. Nice. So we're gonna do a nice side bend stretch here. We're gonna take the right leg out to your side, if this feels okay for you. So it's kind of like we're in a lunge position, a side lunge. You're gonna bring your right hand up to the side, and your left hand can be somewhere on your thigh. You're gonna inhale, this right arm up. And exhale as you come over, listen to your body here. You're keeping your belly pulled in, you're keeping your spine nice and tall. You're finding a side bend here, or it's almost like a triangle, a little bit of a triangle pose. You're going to reach over. You're keeping that right foot nice and grounded, nice and straight. You're keeping your pelvis anchored to the chair, and you're reaching that right arm over. I'm leaning my left forearm onto my thigh because I'm getting a little deeper into it, but you could be higher up. You could keep your hand there on the thigh. And then on your exhale, come up. Inhale, that right arm down. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, the arm up. Exhale it over. Try to feel that stretch all the way down the right side of your body. And then exhale, come up. Inhale that right arm down. Let's do the other side, same thing. So bring your legs back to that external rotation. Take the left leg out to the side this time. Now your chair may be a little different. If you need to adjust yourself, please do. Left arm is up this time. Inhale it up high, 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 reach, reach, reach. And then exhale to come over. Depending on how far over you are, you may come onto your forearm, maybe you stay up higher, that's fine. You can still feel that stretch from the foot all the way up. And then on your next exhale, pull the belly in, lift the spine up, draw the hand down on your inhale. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale the arm up. Exhale, reach over. And then on your next exhale, so inhale and then exhale, come up. Inhale that arm down. Nice. Okay, let's bring the legs in front of us and extend the feet forward. I like to get feet in here every time. So feet are here. We're going to point the feet and flex the feet. Oh, feel that stretch in the back of the legs. Point the feet and flex the feet. Point the feet. Flex the feet, hold it here. You're gonna curl the toes, just the toes, and stretch the toes. Curl the toes, work those toesies, and stretch the toes. Curl, stretch. Last time, curl, and stretch. Now the feet are gonna move in the same direction together. You're gonna circle the feet the same direction together. Woo, let your breath just regulate itself. And then other direction. Okay, yes, we're opening the ankles. We're waking them up. Very nice. And then keep the legs straight. The feet are kind of flexed. I'm holding on to my chair. If you're slipping, I would recommend holding onto your chair or maybe bringing your feet underneath you. You're gonna get a different stretch if your feet are underneath you, but it's more important to stay firmly in your chair than it is to have this particular stretch. So if you can firmly stay in this position, you're gonna inhale tall through the spine. Exhale, hinge forward, and you should feel a stretch to the back of the legs and through the lower back. Use your inhale to come up. And your exhale to come forward. Nice. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Last time, exhale forward. Oh, yeah. Inhale up nice and tall. Whew. Bring your feet underneath you. We're gonna find a twist and then we're gonna move on to something else. So bring your feet together, bring your knees together, your inner thighs are activated. Keep this work in lower body. Keep the upper body nice and tall. You're gonna bring your right hand up and then you're gonna take it across to the left thigh. Notice I'm still facing forward. This arm is just coming across my body. I'm gonna take the left hand behind me on the chair. Inhale, get tall through the spine, keep squeezing those legs together. On the next exhale, turn and look over that left shoulder, or as far as you can, toward the left. Notice your hips, so they kind of stay mostly facing forward. You're rotating with the upper body, you're rotating with the rib cage. You're breathing, you're smiling, you're lengthening, you're getting taller as you twist. Keep breathing, keep twisting. And then on your next exhale, come center. Woo, woo. Keep squeezing those legs together. Okay, now bring up the left hand and bring it across to the right thigh. Take your right arm behind you on the chair. You're still facing forward. You're gonna inhale, get tall through that spine. Exhale, turn and look toward the right shoulder. Try to get taller. Keep squeezing squeezing the legs together. Keep smiling, keep lengthening. Oh yes. Yes. You're continuing to try to get taller as you twist, as you breathe. On your next exhale, you're gonna come back around to center. Woo. Very nice, very nice. Bring your legs back to hip distance apart. Close your eyes. Take some natural breaths in and out. Notice what you've done. Notice how your body feels. It's important to take these moments to check in, to get present to where you are, because things are constantly changing. Take a deep breath in. Put a smile on your face. Open your eyes on your exhale. Very nice. So we got to move our body around. We did a little bit of breath work earlier, and I want to do a little bit more now. Breath is very important. It helps in so many levels. It feeds our mind, it feeds our muscles, and our blood needs that oxygen, needs that energy. So we're going to do two different breath patterns. We're going to do a breath pattern that helps to activate the upper body, the upper chest, and then we're going to do a breath pattern that helps to activate the lower body. And there's all of our important organs, most of our important organs are in these two regions, so this is really good. So I'm going to start us with rubbing the hands together. We do this a lot. It's good. Get in the habit. It's healthy. And we're going to bring the left hand to the heart center and the right hand on top. So we're going to be breathing into the chest. I want you to keep your eyes open for this, because sometimes bringing a lot of air and oxygen into your body can make you lightheaded. And so if you start to feel lightheaded or anything like that, stop the breath pattern and just breathe normal. Just breathe normal. But for a few seconds, just a few seconds, we're gonna breathe into our chest. Watch me first and then we'll do it together. So we're gonna go like this. Breathing in and out, really feeling the chest expanding and contracting. This is a massage for the heart and the lungs. It's good stuff. Keep those eyes open. Here we go. Inhale deep. Relax the hands to your lap. Let your breath be normal, in and out. Keep those eyes open. You might feel tingly, you might feel lightheaded. Just breathe normal. You are okay. Just breathe normal, breathe good. Nice. And then bring your hands to the side here. We're going to inhale the energy up. Exhale the energy down. Try to do this all through your nose. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Very nice. So close your eyes, check in, just see what that did for you. If you're still dizzy, if you're dizzy, do not close your eyes. Keep them open and keep breathing until you're no longer lightheaded in any way. And then, like I said, the next round's gonna be lower. So inhale, put a smile on your face. Exhale, open your eyes. And then we'll rub the hands. Same pattern to start. Bring the left hand to the solar plexus. Right hand on top, or it doesn't matter which hand actually, whichever one feels comfortable to you. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. We're gonna inhale into the belly this time. So it's gonna look like this. Just watch first and then we'll do it together. So we're really letting the belly open up and get full of air down low, okay? So get up, sitting up nice and tall. Here we go. Inhale deep. On your exhale, relax your hands to your lap. Let your breath regulate itself. Just breathe natural. Again, if you feel any weirdness, any lightheadedness, just breathe normal. Just give yourself some space, some time. Nice. And then bring your hands to the side. We're going to do that sweep. We're going to do it slightly differently this time. So you're going to inhale up. Exhale, mouth down. Inhale up. Exhale, mouth down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice. Relax your hands on your lap. Close your eyes this time if you're not lightheaded in any way. And listen with your eyes closed. If you need to keep your eyes open, please do. Just breathe natural. Nice. And then just keep your eyes closed. Keep your breath deep. We're going to go into our meditative part. I like to end the class with a brief meditation. And lately we've been doing a meditation on the 7 main chakras. Chakra means circle. And when people mention or talk about chakras, they're talking about these subtle energy spirals or spinning, basically wheels of energy that live along our spine. And they're very useful in helping us to connect with certain aspects of ourself, of our being. So I invite you to close your eyes and bring your attention, or maybe they're already closed, they should be already closed. Bring your attention down to the base of your spine. Basically, your seat, where you're sitting. Bring your attention there and visualize a red light. A red light just emanating from the base of your spine. So this is called your root chakra. It's also called Muladhara. But your root chakra is your connection to your grounding, your connection to your stability, and your security. So we just breathe into that red light, that center of our security and our stability. And then bring your attention up to the sacral chakra, the second chakra, which is 2 inches below the belly button. It lives in the center of your pelvis. And you can just imagine a beautiful orange light emanating from that region of your body. And this orange energy center is your connection to creativity and pleasure, savoring life. And so just breathe into that sacral chakra. It's also called Svadhisthana. Then bring your attention up a little bit, 2 inches above the belly button, to your solar plexus. This is your 3rd chakra. It's the color yellow, and it's your connection to confidence, your willpower. They live right here in your solar plexus. The color yellow, like golden sunlight. Connect to this area of your body. It's also called Manipura. This yellow, confident energy living in your center, breathing into this energy center. Breathing into these energy centers wakes them up, it enlivens them, gives them more zhuzh, more power. Okay, bring your attention up to the center of your chest. This is your heart center. It's the color green, and it's your connection to love and giving and receiving of love. This is your love center, your heart center. It's also called Anahata, and it's just a delicious energy center. So close your eyes if they're not closed and breathe into this emerald green, loving energy center. And then bring your attention up to the center of your throat. The 5th chakra is your throat chakra. It's also, what is it? It's also called Vishuddha. And it's the color blue. It's your connection to your voice, basically, your self-expression, your ability to speak your truth. So you can just breathe into this blue throat chakra energy center, connecting with your voice. And then bring your attention up to between your eyebrows. This 6th chakra here is the color indigo or dark purple. It's your connection to your intuition and your self-awareness. It's also called Anja chakra, and you can just connect to it with your breath. And then lastly, but not least, you're going to bring your attention to your top of your head, the crown chakra. And this last chakra is your connection to highest consciousness, highest wisdom. It's the color violet, and it's just beautiful. Oh, it's called Sahasrara, is its Sanskrit name. And it is just our connection to highest intelligence, basically. So you can close your eyes if they're not already closed and just breathe into your crown chakra, taking in that violet light, connecting with your highest wisdom. And now that we've gone through all the chakras, I invite you to, as we go into a time of silence, to just breathe in and out naturally and keep checking in on all of these chakras and continue to check in on the rest of your being as well. Keeping your eyes closed, you can begin to move your fingers and your toes. Keeping your eyes closed and your breath deep, bring one hand to the center of your chest and the other hand on top. Take a few breaths here just to feel your heartbeat and your chest rising and falling with your breath. And then from this still centered place, I invite you to take in, or if you know it, say along with me the prayer of love, peace, and light. Love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love in me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. Peace before me, peace behind me, peace at my left, peace at my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace in me, peace in my surroundings, peace to all, peace to the universe. Light before me, light behind me, light at my left, light at my right, light above me, light below me, light in me, light in my surroundings, light to all, light to the universe. Deep breath in for Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The light in me salutes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief yoga class. And I invite you to join me on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. for chair yoga on a weekly basis. Yay, thanks. Take care. Bye.
It's harder than ever to get ahead. Chase Secure Banking is right there with you to help with the convenience to manage your money from the Chase mobile app. Plus, it helps you spend only what you have. Because you want to get ahead of your expenses and want to get ahead in life. Chase Secure Banking, helping you get ahead. Open a Chase Secure Banking account today with no minimum deposit.
All right, so welcome everybody. My name is Kenya Gibson. I'm really happy to be here today for our first official Good for Business, Good for You conversation about Black business and how to help them pivot the pandemic. I'm here with metroplus Health Plan and a whole panel of wonderful guests and Black-owned businesses here in Harlem, and we're really excited to have this conversation today. And one of the things I want to start with before we get into the program is August is Black Business Month. So I was not aware of that, to be honest with you. It's a fact that I heard the other day, and all month long, it's been a celebration of Black-owned businesses. And one of the reasons why the timing is so perfect about all this is because one of the things about Black business is there's amazing integrity, creativity that is historic into the Black business community, starting from Black Wall Street all the way to Harlem. So we're really privileged to have this conversation and open up this dialogue. The whole point of this is to educate the community, right? So we want to make sure that we create awareness, we create resources, and we create mentorship, not just for the Black business community, but the community at large, because we know that if we're healthy as individuals, that it leads to us being prosperous as a community at large. So we want to definitely get into who we have today here on the panel. Before I get into that, I wanted to share a few more little statistics though about Black-owned businesses. So there are 2 million Black-owned businesses in the United States. 107,000 of these Black-owned businesses contribute to 23.9 million annual to the payrolls. So that's super important when it comes down to economics. making Black-owned small businesses a very strong part to the economic engine of this country. So I think it's important to know why we're here and why we're doing what we're doing, because we have to really keep this thing healthy, strong, and going forward. And then joining us today, we have some Black-owned business owners, and then we also have a panel of some experts. So we have Christopher Hollins, who is the GM of Cash Management for Chase Business Banking, a part of Advancing Black Pathways. We have Marjorie A. Cottigan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. She is the Executive Deputy Commissioner of the NYC Human Resources Administration's Office for the Citywide Health Insurance Access, which is HRA. We have Lisa Ascalise, the inventress. We have Gearhart Law, Richard and Elizabeth Gearhart. And then we have Polo Green from the Harlem Masters Barbershop. We also have Princess Jenkinson from the Brownstone Boutique. We have Roger Milliner, who is the Chief Growth Officer of metroplus Health Plan, who helped me put all this together. And then we have Daryl T. Downing, who is part of the Harlem Business Alliance. So I just want to say welcome to everybody and welcome to the conversation. So we're just going to kind of dive right in. One of the things that we felt was very important to understand is some of the challenges that's going on right now in the business community when it comes to entrepreneurs, when it comes to creatives, since the pandemic started. And I'm just going to ask those who want to contribute to this question to unmute themselves now. And I want to start with one of our Black-owned businesses, Princess. I want to just ask you, what are some of the challenges that you've been facing since we have been dealing with the pandemic?
Thank you for having me on the panel today. And I think that that's an awesome question, because COVID-19 devastated small businesses, particularly across the US, and more specifically Black-owned businesses, and to make it even more specific, Harlem-owned Black-owned businesses. The devastation was great. I am one of a few businesses that have been able to come back. And even in coming back from the pandemic, we are seeing a very slow tick up. Clients are still nervous about coming out. Spending is still on hold. We have an election that is on its way. And people are really not ready to resume life in the way that we know it. As a boutique owner, I dress women for important moments in their lives, birthdays, anniversaries, cruises. But there are no gatherings for people to go to. Even churches have not fully opened. So we're going to see the devastation that COVID-19 has caused Black-owned businesses in Harlem for a very long time. I'm predicting maybe another year and a half before we see anything close to what we've become used to. And what we've become used to may really be no more. Most women are shopping online and trying to figure out that experience. But based on what I do, which is a very high touch, high customer service situation, it's going to be a slow crawl back.
Very interesting. So Daryl, you work with the Harlem Business Alliance. What would you say has been the climate if you had to describe it?
Yeah, well, I will piggyback on what Princess has just said. The epidemic has devastated our community. I think one of the major businesses that is hurt is the restaurant business, because they can't operate at all. And lately they've been making a comeback with their grab and go, and they're building stands outside where they can bring their business back gradually. But as far as the flow that we're used to seeing, that's not happening, but that's starting to pick up. What I would advise people, business owners, to do is take advantage of every single grant opportunity, because generally businesses don't get grants. But in this environment, there has been an upswing in offers from all different types of let's call them philanthropists, for lack of a better word. And I would also urge small business owners to band together, black business owners particularly, because in order for us to thrive past this pandemic, we have to go forward in unity. And I think we make a mistake when we go forward under the MWBE banner, because that minimizes the Black business contribution. So we have to think Black business going forward and in unity. And I think we will be better making our small steps, but together. I'll talk more about those things as we go along.
Sure.
I'd like to add that from a health insurance perspective, we've seen the effect that COVID-19 has had on businesses as it pertains to health insurance that they once might have had for themselves and their employees. When COVID hit, many businesses were either forced to lay people off, reduce the number of hours that people had as they were working. Darryl talked about restaurants, and some restaurants that did either stay open and have outdoor seating, hours got minimized. The number of tips that people were getting was minimized. So we've seen an influx of people seeking health insurance because of the impact of COVID-19. And even people who had health insurance having to change the type of insurance they had. So they might have once been in a product or a program where they were paying a monthly premium. They no longer can afford that premium. So they had to be rescreened. And some people became eligible for programs like Medicaid that might have been free for them because of the change in their income and their financial status. So we definitely seen a rising number of people getting health insurance in different types of levels, Medicaid, the essential plan, QHP, because of the fluctuation in income and financial hardships that people have been experiencing from the health insurance perspective.
Right. So there's definitely a lot going on in that forefront. And Marjorie, you know, you kind of work on the other facet of what Roger does with MetroPlus Health Plan. What are some of the things that you've seen since the pandemic has been going on?
Well, I was going to compliment some of the things that Roger said. Our office is focused on providing information, training, and connections to health insurance for New Yorkers who are uninsured. And we've certainly seen with partners like Roger and other partners that we work with, just the demand for health insurance for New Yorkers who are struggling. Not only business owners, but their employees. Every business has a set of employees and families behind that. So there is just tremendous demand for the kind of services and benefits that the city has to offer. And as an office that sits with the Human Resources Administration, what we're also seeing is that people don't just come with one need, they come with multiple needs. So if health insurance is the need, food insecurity is a need. If food insecurity is a need, cash assistance is a need. If cash assistance is a need, maybe somebody in the family had COVID and passed away, burial assistance is a need. So there's a domino effect of the needs that are appearing in the course of this pandemic and economic crisis. So we try to provide information and connections to all of that where we can.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I just want to ask Christopher to kind of chime in here because Marjorie, you mentioned something very key about finances, right? So we know that historically, you know, the Black business community has had some limitations when it's come to that. The pandemic has, I feel like, heightened that. So Christopher, what are you seeing as far as what you've been experiencing in the marketplace?
So thank you very much for allowing me to participate. Hopefully you can hear me and it's not making too much background noise. What we're seeing is the following, you know, unfortunately, right as the pandemic hit, about somewhere between 35 and 45% of Black businesses basically had to at least close their doors. And our biggest concern is now that this pandemic is in its 6th month, that, you know, half of that percentage may never come back. To the points that have been brought up a little bit earlier, for Black business owners, we are over-indexed in hospitality and restaurant, which are keenly impacted. And for those who've been able to survive in a large metropolitan area like New York, it's been also difficult because delivery services are not cheap. And, you know, the ability to actually get to your market and consistently get them to shop with you or to buy from you has been part of the challenge. The way that we've been thinking about the business is the following, Kenya. We are in survival mode. So we are working with Black business owners through Advancing Black Pathways to help them survive. That comes down to very simple things like really understanding what your cash flow needs are. You may have never wanted to deal with accounting or cash flow before, but now it's actually essential that you know the basics. Making certain that there is any opportunity to whether it's on the supplier side and getting the best supplier deal you can possibly get, and that's even possible during a pandemic, making sure that people are paying you if they owe you money so that you can keep and scrounge for every dollar that you have and that you've earned. For a number of them businesses to figure out what's your pivot point. What is a business that's connected to what you do that allows you to stay in business and to potentially keep your doors open. And then finally, making certain that you are, expanding your marketing capability. If you are a local business that's in retail, is there an opportunity through your website to get a broader base to look at you? Because every state's not in the same situation. While in New York, we're still, in New Jersey, we still are relatively closed. There's other states that are not. So there are people who are shopping for clothes, who are shopping for key goods that people sell from a retail perspective that need to, and because there's so many people looking for Black businesses, we need to be out there to be seen such that we potentially could get orders from outside of the geographic area that we're in. The final piece that I'll share, Kinga, that we're spending a lot of time on kind of advice and counsel, is making certain that even for the businesses that have managed their way through this process now, making sure they don't take their eye off the ball, because we don't know what the new normal looks like. I don't think normal looks like what it did in this time last year. It's going to be different. And so we've got to help continue to encourage those business owners to find ways to pivot so that they can maintain their passion while being able to manage their business even more tightly than they may have ever done so before.
Yeah, well, you make a good point about passion. And I think one of the things that has been produced because of this pandemic is that I see a lot of solo entrepreneurs. I see a lot of creators who are now starting to bring those ideas to life and starting to really just kind of step out and find ways to create opportunities for themselves and generate, money for their families, which is one of the reasons why I thought it was important to have Richard and Elizabeth Gearhart from Gearhart Law today, and along with Lisa Askeles, who's the inventress. So Richard and Elizabeth, what have you seen on the forefront as far as people coming to you with wanting to patent new ideas, new businesses, getting new business established, and so on and so forth?
Well, first of all, Kenya, thank you for having us on your program. It's an honor to be here, and we've really enjoyed hearing the other presenters discuss the issues that the community is facing. Like you said, innovation is really important, and during this time there has been an actual uptick in people approaching us with new ideas, new innovations, new ideas for businesses, new products. And there are a lot of things that entrepreneurs can do, first-time entrepreneurs can do to protect themselves for later on when their business grows that are relatively inexpensive. They can file their own provisional patents. They can file their own trademarks. It's always best to get the help of a professional, but these are things that businesses can do to get a start. And so our situation has been that we have quite a few Black clients, minority clients. At Gearhart Law, I would say somewhere around 30%. And the innovation that's come from everybody has just really been fantastic. And one interesting point I wanted to make was that the Patent and Trademark Office is very agnostic as to who is filing a patent or who is filing a trademark. In the many, many years that I've been doing this, no examiner has ever asked me about the background of any inventor or trademark owner. And what we see is that patents are granted to minority patent holders and women at the same rate as they are to other groups. And so I think minority business owners can really feel like they're going to get a fair shake when they apply for intellectual property. So I wanted to get that message out there and make sure that that was understood. So
that's great. That's great. Thank you, Richard, so much. And then I just want to kind of, talk to Lisa, because Lisa is a Black inventor. I've known Lisa for a while. I've met Lisa through the Gearharts. She does a lot of work with them. And Lisa, so what have you kind of seen has been the temperature as far as clients you've been working with and things you've been seeing in the market since the pandemic has started?
First and foremost, thank you so much, Kenya, for having me on the show. It's a crazy world, because initially in March, I was prepared for not getting business. My business is a luxury. If you're inventing a product and you want to put something on the market, it's not essential and it's not priority. So I was preparing myself emotionally and financially to sit back and just wait. But what happened was, it happened the other way. We started getting an influx of inventors being home and being extremely creative and wanting to start something as independent entrepreneurs. Many people work from home and work for corporations, but it was an aha moment for many of my clients and many inventors that they wanted to go full throttle with developing and creating new product ideas and inventions. And this is where I piggyback what Richard just said. It's been crazier than ever with people coming in a very, very positive way, because I really didn't think it was going to happen. And the second point is, what are we doing? What's happening? In my business, I do align my inventors and entrepreneurs with other people who they can connect with and lift them up in their businesses. So it's been quite a journey, a very interesting one I did not expect. So it's been different, but it's wonderful in so many ways. Fearful for many, but moving forward in a positive direction.
Great. Well, I appreciate everyone's insight. Is there anything else anyone wanted to say in terms of this particular piece? No, we're good. All right, so we're just going to move the conversation along, because one of the things that we really spoke about when we were playing out this conversation was, we wanted to talk about some of the challenges that were there, but we also wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for people to learn about resources, which is why we've had every single one of the experts on today. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with Marjorie. I'm going to just ask all of our experts to kind of give a little background on their organization, exactly it is what they do, and then we'll kind of weave into the conversation from there. So Marjorie, we'll start with you.
You're muted.
Get myself off mute to be able to talk to you all. I am part of the Human Resources Administration, but more importantly, head of an office called the Office of Citywide Health Insurance Access. And what we do is walk and talk about health insurance. We go into the community and try to educate New Yorkers, both individuals, small businesses, and others, about the multiple options that are available in the wonderful state of New York for folks who are uninsured. We work with a variety of partners, including events like the one that Roger Milliner represents, metroplus, to really connect New Yorkers to health insurance. And we try to keep ourselves abreast of policy, because as everyone knows, we have an administration that's doing everything that it can to limit our availability of health insurance, and we try to stay abreast of that to make the needs of New Yorkers known. For us, the important thing in terms of resources that New Yorkers should know about is our website. We have a website that helps you understand what health insurance is, how to get it, what you need, what you might qualify for, and where you can get help to get health insurance. I'll talk about that website later on. But the other thing that we try to do as it impacts small businesses is try to be colleagues to our other city agencies who have resources to share with small businesses. And I want to make clear to New York City small businesses and Harlem small businesses that the Department of Small Business Services has resources for you. They actually have a COVID page on their website that provides links to grants, loans, other kinds of resources, including things like PPE, how to get PPE both for free and through suppliers that folks are going to need as they start to reopen their businesses. And then finally, as I spoke earlier, each business has employees. Those employees have families. And the needs that are starting to multiply as people go month after month after month through economic constraints are vast. The one thing that the Human Resources Administration does is makes available benefits for low-income New Yorkers, things like cash assistance, things like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, burial assistance for those who are within certain income levels. Now, we know that many offices are closed. You're not walking into an HRA office at this point because of the restrictions of COVID, but there is both a website and an app that New Yorkers can use to apply, get benefits, get information, stay abreast of their benefits, call Access HRA. And I can give more details about all of that as time permits.
That's great information. And I know, Roger, with MetroPlus Health Plan, you've made it very easy too for people to access health insurance. I know you have virtual signups that people can take advantage of now. So what are some of those things that people can take advantage of during this time?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I want to also say that as Kenya opened up the program, she mentioned that this is a good for you program. And I really want to talk a little bit about what good for you means. Kenya and I have known each other for a long time, and we decided to go on this quest to make sure that we brand both of our organizations in a very different way. And we wanted our organizations to be seen more than just either a health insurance company where I work or a media giant where she works at iHeart. So we came up with this slogan called Good for You. And Good for You was a term used to show that we wanted to make sure that we do everything that's good for people, whether it be their health is good for you, that their finances were good for them, their mental state was good for them. So we put on a lot of different initiatives and programs that address all those different things: financial well-being, mental well-being, health insurance well-being, physical well-being, and we've done a variety of things. So this is another version of Good for You, just giving information to the community. MetroPlus Health Plan is a subsidiary of a huge hospital system known as New York City Health and Hospital, which is New York's public hospital system. So we're a huge organization. We represent over 500,000 members, and this year alone, we went from having 500,000 members at the start of the year to almost 570,000 members. So 70,000 people have signed up, mainly due because of this pandemic. And unfortunately, unemployment, rising. So I hate to say from, that terrible thing, we've been able to grow, but it's because of the demand for health insurance. So that partnership between MetroPlus and our parent organization is critical. As Marjorie said, we also partner with a lot of other city agencies to bring together resources. So during the height of the pandemic, we leased staff over to health and hospitals in order to help with the demand that was coming into the hospital with people filling up those emergency rooms. We had our frontline staff there helping out as well. We helped the governor recruit doctors all over the country to bring them in to help support what was going on, to bring more physicians into the metropolitan area to help with the demand that was happening in the hospital. So those are the types of ways in which we even helped HRA. We filled some of the HRA places because of the demand of people applying for cash assistance. We helped the Department of Small Business Services because of all the people applying for unemployment. So we team up with other city agencies because of our connection to the city as well. I wanted to talk about, you talked about resources. So I want everyone to know that obtaining health insurance has probably been the easiest now than it's ever been in my history of working in the industry. Open enrollment has continued on. We work and live in a state of New York where our governor has been very forthcoming with his belief that everyone should have access to healthcare. So there's been continuous open enrollment even after the open enrollment period ended in January of this year. And normally people would have to wait until October. So every month since then, we've continued to roll open enrollment. So anyone who's interested in getting health insurance, they shouldn't worry that, oh, I have to wait for open enrollment. It's open now, so please seek out insurance. They've relaxed many of the eligibility and documentation requirements. So normally there would be some forms of documents and certain eligibility requirements that someone would have to meet in order to apply. a lot of those have been relaxed, and people can verbally sort of attest to what their status is or what their proof of income. They can verbally say, I make such and such, and they'll worry about the documentation later. They've deferred renewal, so people don't have to worry about being dropped from their health insurance because they have to recertify. Recertification dates have been put off until next year in many cases, so people don't have to worry about that. And probably one of the best things is that they allowed health plans like metroplus to help people telephonically. We're all practicing social distancing, and people were sort of, how do I find a representative to get insurance? All you have to do is pick up the phone and call us, and we can do the enrollment telephonically in most cases. So those are many of the good ways that getting health insurance is easier. I know that we're talking to people with small businesses. We have a program called SHOP, which is a small business health operative program for any small businesses that have less than 100 employees. We can help them out. We have programs for individuals. We assist with housing for the homeless. We assist with prenatal programs. We have a pill pack program for anybody who needs to get their medication mailed to them. So I can go on and on, but there's a ton of resources and available programs that we have as an insurance company, and we should be looked at as more than just an insurance company.
That's wonderful. That's great information. And there's no reason why everyone should not have health insurance, especially during this time. So, and just as important as health insurance is, finances and access to capital. So Christopher, I wanted to just kind of go to you and see what are some of the resources that Advancing Black Pathways has available, and some of the Chase products that are available for people who have small businesses or are in need of some capital during this time.
Right. So a couple of things. So Kinga, to the point about advice and counsel, anyone that goes to jpmorganchase.com/ABP will hit the homepage that has all of the services and capabilities that show for Advancing Black Pathways. We've been very focused on the advice and counsel piece for many Black business owners, because we want to be able to serve Black business owners irrespective of whether they bank with us or not. That's been our focus. Let's help clients survive so that we can help them revive, and to an earlier point that was brought up, I think, by Daryl, to thrive. In order to do that, as I've spoken before, you got to get the financial house in order to the best of your ability, given the current circumstances. Figure out ways to squeeze 6 cents out of every nickel. Once you've done that, now you at least have the ability to figure out where your business can or should pivot. That's going to come down to, how many employees do I need to keep? What does my business model need to look like in this period of time? Do I need to do a replanning like every 3 weeks to make certain that I am keeping abreast of the things that are changing? Because states are changing their policies, what's open, what's closed, on an almost every 2-week basis. So you've got to be very fluid with what's going on in your own world in order to actually capture as much market as you possibly can. From a credit perspective, I'll be very straightforward and honest. For all small businesses, it is extraordinarily tough. Credit markets are very tight at this time, not just at Chase, but all banking institutions. There is a high premium paid to actually get access to capital right now. And I think that's in part because for 6 months, we don't understand what the financials are for many small businesses, let alone large businesses. And without being able to do that, it doesn't allow you to really understand whether that business is in a good situation for the long run or not. That said, it is not the time to feel either depressed or feel like you need to crawl into a shell around that. There's got to be a focus on what your business plan is, making sure you're communicating that with hopefully your financial advisors to the extent that you have some, whether that be the bank that you're banking with. If there's something you need from Chase and being able to talk to someone, if you go to the site that I referenced earlier, there is a way for you to actually get a chance to talk to someone and talk about what your situation is, and we try to be very helpful. The final piece I'll make on this, King, is that I know that this is very difficult for a lot of business owners. I've had people call me directly who are, Black business owners struggling to figure out how to work more effectively with their banks or what they're doing. This is a hard slog. I think there was another comment that was also made earlier by Daryl that you have to come together with your colleagues in business, your Black colleagues in business, so that you can continue to share what you're experiencing and help each other come through this, because it is very difficult to come through on your own. If you're a mid-sized $25 million business, it's difficult right now, let alone if you're a much smaller business. So there is what I'll consider to be expertise in numbers and making sure that you're leveraging that with the people that you know, whether they're in your direct business or not, so that you can get smarter faster to make the kind of changes you need to make your business survivable through this time.
Good point. Good point. So Daryl, I do want to ask you, what are some of the resources that are available through the Harlem Business Alliance that businesses can tap into, or smaller entrepreneurs or creatives?
Well, I'm here wearing two hats, actually. I'm representing the Harlem Business Alliance, but my company is I Am Harlem. And so what I do is I provide information to the business as well as the cultural community. And through through information, that's how we can make intelligent moves in order to thrive in business. So in answer to your question, HBA has partnered with other community organizations to help small business community. We do workshops and consultations, and we do this with the Harlem, HCDC Harlem Community Development Corporation, as well as with the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. And through these informational webinars now, before it was face-to-face, but there's lots of webinars. We do it at least twice a week, and we help businesses pivot. And that's the new terminology now, pivot. What can you do with your business knowledge that can help you remain viable, even if it means pivoting away from what you've been doing, but you have basic business knowledge. So we have webinars, like today we did one, how do you become a consultant? Because a lot of people have lots of expertise. So people are making other moves with their basic knowledge. Of course, we have the general financial literacy things of that nature, but we also direct people to sources for finance. How do you really get financing? Okay, who is willing to really give you some money? And New York State has stepped forward with these loans. They call it the forward loans, the New York forward loans. It's a 5-year loan, and it's paid back for nonprofits at 2% and for profits at 3%. And so those are very, very low interest loans, and 5 years is a goodly amount of time to get things together. And the max on that is $100,000. So every little bit helps. A lot of the business owners that I talk to, they really don't want to go into increased debt. But if an offer is made for 2%, if you're a nonprofit, or profit is 3%, you're willing to look at that. So that's one aspect of what we do, mainly educate to the pivot. And so as we go on, I have other things to contribute, but I'd like to let other people contribute as well.
Great. Well, we appreciate that. So that's great information. Richard and Elizabeth, so I am a entrepreneur, or I'm a creative, and I have an idea and I want to protect that idea, or I just want to start an LLC, or whatever the case may be. What is the experience like coming to you at Gearhart Law to take the next steps to create that and bring it to life?
Hi, Kenya. Yeah. So we've been doing remote work for years. We've been using Zoom for years, and we've got a lot of clients we've never met in person, so this isn't new for us. I would like to say the approach that we take with entrepreneurs is not just to sell them a patent or sell them a trademark or sell them a copyright and walk away. What we like to do is take a look at their whole business, how the intellectual property fits into their business, what their budget is, what they really need, what they can afford right now, what maybe we can put off till later, and what type of product they really need to get the most protection they can get for themselves now. So and really how it fits with your business and your business goals. And we have preferred associates like Lisa Ascalese, who do the next step of what we do that we send people to. So if you were to approach us right now, we would help you file your LLC, because that would protect you financially, to some degree at least, from anybody who might want to sue you because they didn't like the way you did business or something. So you want to protect your financial assets as much as you can. And then we would take a look at your project. And I usually ask Richard to evaluate the projects because he sees so much more of it than I do.
Yeah, and I would also add that we talk with anybody who calls our office, and sometimes finances are an issue. Legal work is not always the cheapest, but there are a lot of resources out there that anybody can rely on to get some basic protection for their business. So the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, uspto.gov, has a wealth of information there about if you want to file your own patent or your own trademark. There's lots of online resources on the topic. Anybody can just Google it and get lots of advice. We usually recommend that if you can afford it, to work with an experienced professional, but that's not always possible. And I'm always explaining the process of, to a potential client, of how they can do it themselves if they'd rather do it that way than go through a law firm. So we're always happy to help anybody who needs that kind of help. And sometimes the steps are a little bit complicated, but the patent office especially has people that are staffed to help independent inventors who want to file their own applications. It's easy to call the patent office. They have a helpline, and they can get support that way. So it's usually better if you can have a professional do it, but just to get a start, that's a good place to go.
Great, great. And then Lisa, I just want you to explain to everybody what it is you do, because you help a lot of people get their product in front of the right platform. So can you explain a little bit about what you do and how you help small businesses and people who have products? Oh, I think you're muted. That's okay.
Thank you. What I do, my business is Inventing A to Z. And what I do is I help people to develop products from concept to fruition realistically. So I set up consultations with my clients first to get a good understanding of how passionate they are about their product and whether it's realistic or not to move forward financially for some. So I really appreciate what Christopher is talking about in terms of, and Marjorie and everybody else talking about understanding your finances and not to squeeze yourself in business, because as I mentioned before, my business is really a luxury until you have the finances to create a business. Okay, so I walk people through the entire concept and I evaluate everything, the product, whether or not it's on the market, and of course send them to Richard and Elizabeth and their team to find out if it's a viable product to be patented. And that's one of the steps. I also take them through the manufacturing process, but all of this is verbal first. So it's all having them understand the entire process without jumping in and having to refinance their home just because they have a good idea or invention. And I do complete the process, I'm going to say about 85% of the time. My clients come to me, I help them develop it, help them get a patent, help them prototype, manufacture, and bring them to national television, which is QVC, HSN, and eFine Live, and ultimately to retail stores. I'm a hand holder, so I walk my clients through everything. I stay with them. It's a very scary business. You just don't know what the climate is going to be. I mean, facing the pandemic right now, we're aware of that, but so that's what I do. I just help everybody. My role is to help people succeed. That's the bottom line. Help you succeed in an innovative market.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I just kind of want to bring it full circle, and I want to open it back up to the business owners that are on the call today or the Zoom with us, and see if there are any questions that you have for the experts that are on our panel today, whether it be from health insurance, finances, product ideas? Are there any questions from our business owners that are here today, or anything that you want to contribute that we didn't have a chance to converse about today? I know the gentleman in the middle here, sir, you were kind of quiet, so I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to contribute to the conversation. Yes.
Unmute. Okay,
There
can
you
you hear me
go.
now?
Yes, we can.
All right. My name is Timothy Polo Green, owner of the Harlem Master Barbershop. This is a question for the husband and wife in terms of finances. Do you believe that it's best to be an LLC or a single corporation?
By single corporation, do you mean a corporation or a sole proprietorship?
Sole proprietorship.
Definitely better to be an LLC. So you'll have to file, you still have to file, you'll have to file an extra tax return. But if there's ever any financial issues, the LLC can act as a shield to help protect your company and your personal assets. And LLCs, again, these are things that you can do yourself. Daryl's organization probably is familiar with this, and he may be able to give you help, or you can contact us and we can walk you through the process. But we definitely recommend an LLC over a sole proprietorship. So, did that answer?
Polo, we do workshops. We just did a workshop on what entity should you put your business into. So just stay tuned. And the next time we have that type of workshop, just make sure that you contact me or I'll contact you. And then you can go through all of the different ramifications and different ways that you can protect yourself. Sole proprietorship offers the least amount of protection in your business.
Great. Good to see you, Darryl.
All right, my brother.
So so Polo, I have a quick question for you because, I always considered a barbershop to be a recession-proof type of business. So how are you finding businesses going for you? Because I feel like everybody always needs a haircut.
Exactly, it's true. Well, business is picking up. It's slow because everyone is very nervous about the COVID-19 virus, and a lot of people are taking a lot of precaution so that they don't contract the COVID-19. And business is coming around slow. There's a lot of unsure clients or clients that's unsure about, should they come out to get their hair cut. But I think it's very essential for them to consider to come out and get their haircuts and, continue to keep up their grooming because it's very important. All that's part of the health and safety of preventing COVID-19. A lot of the barbershops should be practicing a lot of safe sanitizing and sterilizing positions when you come into their shop, such as myself. When you come to my shop, I have the Purell sanitizer at the door. I also have face masks that I give out to clients that do not come in with a mask, but every client that comes in is required to have a mask. Business is slowly coming around, but it's going to be a while. It's going to take time because a lot of New Yorkers are very, very afraid to come out and, start to socialize and mingle again. So it's going to take a while, but I'm going to be here, do my best to welcome them as they come in and help them along the way and give them the confidence that they need for them to know that it's okay to come to the barbershop. Okay, I thought the barbershops was really an essential business, basically, because people really needed to keep themselves groomed, and that was something that a lot of people was able to do. So hopefully, as time moves forward, we'll be able to see our businesses increase. Mine is slowly but surely increasing. I did lose some employees because of the pandemic, but as God has it, He always makes a way for you to receive new employees. So everything's coming along slow but sure.
And yeah, I wanted to say to the gentleman,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Am I muted? I'm sorry. I'd like to say to the gentleman from the barbershop and to Princess that metroplus is here. Please, reach out to us if you are interested in doing things to expose your business and to get more promotion around your business. We're a partner together. So if we need to leverage our joint resources and you need to utilize us for some of your media exposure, or you need to use our capital for some digital promotion or social media promotion, or even when you get back to in-person events, that's what we're here for. Marjorie talked about food insecurity. And so, I naturally think about a barbershop as a great place to, as we come into the holiday season, people are going to be, concerned about, that Thanksgiving meal or Christmas, is Christmas going to look the same? Is back to school for my kids going to be the same? I want to work with all of the businesses on this Zoom and whoever's listening, and work together to make sure the community has what they need. So we want to do food feeds, we want to do PPE distributions, we want to do, talks like this and hold more panel discussions. We want to promote ourselves in creative ways. And, working with Kenya, and I've worked with Marjorie, we could certainly do things to help bring your business back together. And that's what it's all about, working together, pooling our resources, and hitting the community as one team.
Great. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mike, Tony, that I've worked with you before with MetroPlus doing haircuts on 125th Street and 7th Avenue. Remember, I believe you was over there also, but I worked with you guys, and I definitely welcome any promotions, any kind of assistance toward having people recognize my business more, so that they can see that I am definitely a community-based barbershop, and that I'm looking forward to service in the community. So any assistance towards that, I really would appreciate.
Amazing. And I do want to hear from Keisha, because you've been kind of quiet down there, and I love your MetroPlus background. So I kind of want to hear anything that you want to contribute as far as some final thoughts or some things that you've been seeing that you think could be helpful.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Well, what just happened is what exactly should be happening, and I'm so glad to be a part of MetroPlus Health. My name is Keisha Daniels, and when I was presented with this project, 3 people came to mind, and they are on this call, and that is Mrs. Princess Jenkins, that is Mr. Polo Green of Harlem Masters Barbershop, and definitely Mr. Darrell, I Am Harlem. And so I am very happy and excited to be a part, and kind of to piggyback on what my boss, Mr. Rogers, said. We are here for you. I am currently working for MetroPlus doing community engagement and community outreach in Brooklyn and Staten Island, but I'm pretty sure that we have the resources in Harlem and other places throughout the 5 boroughs to help you and to be there for you, and that is what this is all about. Harlem Week is all about unity in the community, and once again, thank you so very much. It's wonderful and awesome to be here, and I am truly excited. So thank you so much.
Kenya, before we close, I just want to add some additional resources because we've been very fortunate, and I'm grateful to Roger and to you for bringing this panel together to really speak to the needs of small businesses and the individuals that they employ. But in a city like New York, when we talk about the diversity of that city, we're also talking about our undocumented brothers and sisters who also need the same kind of help and support that we've been talking about here. So I don't want to not acknowledge that there are resources in New York for New Yorkers who are undocumented. We're fortunate to have a public hospital system, the Health and Hospitals Corporation, that will treat New Yorkers regardless of ability to pay. And in fact, they have a new program known as NYC Care for New Yorkers who can't afford health insurance or for whom health insurance is out of reach in terms of a federal formula of income, where they can get connected to a primary care doctor, have a member services number 24/7, get a card that tells them what their costs are going to be for services, and have connection to pharmacy services as well. And that is now operating in 3 boroughs, but by September, it will be operating in all 5. So I wanted to make sure that New Yorkers who cannot afford health insurance, perhaps cannot get health insurance for immigration reasons, know that they can get care in the city of New York, that their children can get health insurance through Child Health Plus. There's no children in New York who should be without health insurance because of the Child Health Plus program. And in terms of getting resources for low-income New Yorkers, nyc.gov/accesshra is your platform to get food stamps, to get cash assistance as you needed. And for small businesses, it is nyc.gov/COVID-19biz will get you a wealth of resources in terms of surviving and thriving for your business.
Great. That's great information. And then what I will do now is I'm just going to go around and I will start with you, Daryl, but I just want everybody to kind of give their final thoughts and then their contact information so that we can, reach out to you and be in contact if we need to do that. So Daryl, I will start with you. Final thoughts and your contact information, please.
Okay, and the final thoughts, I'm going to end as I started when I said that we have to come together as in organizations with Black businesses. And I stress the Black businesses because prior to the pandemic, Black businesses were under fire anyway. So Harlem Business Alliance has partnered with national organizations to empower Black businesses. This Saturday at 12 o'clock, we're doing a town hall. The name of the organization is Black Business Empowerment Commission. At 12 o'clock, we're going to have the town hall, and we have business owners nationally who are going to share ideas similar to what we did just now. If you guys are interested, just shoot me an email, and I'll send you all the links. That's Daryl T. Downing, but it would be ddowning@hbany.org. My information is in the chat box. So you can just take that down, shoot me that information, and we can go forward in the future, because going forward alone, it's going to be lonely. So we have to band together, in some cases, pool resources so that as a community, we can survive. I thank you for having me on behalf of Harlem Business Alliance and Regina Smith, who is our executive director. I thank you again.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And then Princess, I'm just going to go up to you and ask you that you would add any final thoughts, and then here we can find out information on your boutique.
Sure. This is Princess Jenkins again, and my final thought would be this. We want you to go out and support Black-owned businesses. Every dollar that you spend in the Black community should stay in the Black community and will turn over in the Black community. So whether or not it's clothing, a barbershop, a bookstore, or a restaurant, buy local, buy Black. We're making a COVID comeback, but we need everybody in the community to come out and be supportive. Go around the corner from where you live and down the block. Sometimes you have to walk an extra 5 blocks to find a store, but find it and spend your money there. It's important that we vote with our dollar. This is Princess Jenkins from the Brownstone Boutique in Harlem.
Thank you. Marjorie?
Thank you so much again, Kenya and Roger and all of my fellow panelists for what has been a really exciting dialogue. I'm going to say one thing that's in addition to my name, my office of Citywide Health Insurance Access at HRA. My email address is Cadigan M, my last name spelled with the first initial, at dss.nyc.gov. My phone number is in the chat. But one important thing that I think we are all realizing as we go through both the COVID crisis, the economic crisis, and our reckoning with racism is that we live in a city that needs resources. And to get them, we have to complete the census. So that's the one thing I did not want to leave this event without reminding people how important completing that census form, making sure you are counted so that we all can have the resources that we need to have to sustain our city, our businesses, our way of life. Please complete your census and vote.
Nice, great advice. Christopher?
Just a couple of things. One, the website one more time is jpmorganchase.com/ABP. That is a website that has a lot of our capabilities, including an opportunity for you to fill out a form if you want to be in contact with us, as we can talk to you about profiling your business, understanding what you're doing today, maybe make some recommendations on ways to help you survive this period of time, helping connect you with additional resources, much like Daryl and others have talked about. What we're really focused on today is ensuring that Black business owners, who are some of the most resilient business owners that exist on this planet, they have had obstacles put in front of them even in the best of times. And now in the worst of times, this is a time to band together to make certain that you are not out there on your own trying to make all of this happen by yourself. There are people who are here to help you, not only on this panel, but other institutions that you do business with. Make sure you're reaching out and getting the help that you need, because it could make the difference between your business being able to survive this or you having to shut your doors. Thanks.
Thank you for being a part of this. And then Mr. Green, I just want to circle back to you. Any final thoughts? Oh, hold on. I think you're muted.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I want to thank Keisha Daniels for inviting me to be a part of this group. I think it is amazing. You achieved a lot of information that will help me in my business. I would like to thank all the panelists that came on and sharing their information with us. I hope we can continue to share information. And my business name is Polo Green. My shop is Harlem Masters Barbershop, located on 142nd Street and Lenox Avenue. Phone number is 646-388-0450. And my email is polothebarber@aol.com. So I'm looking forward to linking up with quite a few of everyone. And I really thank you for allowing me to come on and join this panel. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then I'm just going to go to Elizabeth and Richard. Any final thoughts for us?
Sure. Thanks again for inviting us. It's been very informative, and we've enjoyed meeting everybody. I think it's important to look inward, but it's also important to look outward. So, for example, one of our stellar paralegals that we've had working for us at Gerhardt Law for the last couple of years lives in Harlem. Her husband is an artist, and she's going to school for museum studies, but she's been an important part of our team now for several years. And so there are opportunities for people for things like remote working and interacting in different ways. And I think that that's one way that the community can further strengthen itself, further move itself forward. There are plenty of businesses like ours that want to take advantage of the talent that exists, and now is a good time to look outward as well. So that's would be my final comment, and thank you again for having us on the show. So
you're welcome. And then just your website where people can find out more information.
You can find us at www.gerhardtlaw.com. It's spelled GEARHARTLAW.com.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And then the inventress, Lisa Askeles, final thoughts.
Thank you again, Kenya. So I just want to echo what everybody is saying, really. I want to keep the conversation going because this is very important. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to each other, because that's the way we're going to keep our economy moving and growing and building. So I want to echo that. And my website is inventingatoz.com. That's inventingatoz.com. Email me info@inventingatoz.com. Call me, I pick up the phone, 732-647-5433. Thanks again, Kenya, and I appreciate everyone on this panel. I'd like to reach out to everyone, by the way. They're all wonderful.
Everybody gets connected for sure.
So much.
And last but never least, Mr. Roger Milliner from MetroPlus Health Plan. Final thoughts from you, Roger?
Well, first, I'd just like to let the panelists know that I truly appreciate you contributing to this excellent community conversation, which is what we called it. Your information will go a long way with letting not only people from Harlem, but people all around New York City, people all around our state and our country know that, you know, we have it together here in New York, and we really know how to band together and help our community. So thank you for those contributions, and I'd love to work with all of you. Metro Plus, we have products for everybody. We have products for individuals. We have products for businesses. We have products for people, as Marjorie said, who are undocumented, because our hospital system has that NYC Cares program. I really want to thank Kenya, you know, my sister, who always like champions these types of crazy ideas that I have, and she comes, you know, at a moment's notice. So thank you for all the work that you did. You can reach us at Metro Plus at www.metroplus.org. That's www.metroplus.org. We have a virtual office on our website. So if you're a business or you're an individual and you want to specifically get in touch with a rep who speaks your language, who is in your neighborhood, because you can search by representatives in your zip code or your borough, or if you want to see a rep who's of your same culture. Sometimes people want to work with people who look like them. You could see our representative staff and their contact information in our virtual office. You can also call us at 1-855-809-4073. That's 855-809-4073. And if you hit prompt 3, that'll take you straight to one of my facilitated enrollers out in the field. They're working remotely, but they can help people telephonically. And we're here to offer any assistance to businesses or individuals. And please, let's work together. And thank you, Kenya, for hosting this, and everyone on the panel for making this a great community conversation.
My pleasure. I got to note that Mr. Downing has one last antidote, so please, sir.
As we say in our pivot workshops, don't waste a good crisis. Thank you.
That's a good point. It's a great way to end. So I'm just, again, thank you everybody for showing up today. We appreciate the conversation. This was super important for our community, just to really be able to kind of get this kind of information out there. We will continue to be doing these. So please, you know, stay tuned for some things that we have coming. Again, my name is Kenya Gibson. It's been a pleasure. Be well, be blessed, and stay focused. All right, until next time.
Thank you so much, Kenya. Visit us at HighLink.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kenya. Thanks, Metro Plus.
Thank you.
Since you can't go to concerts, now we're bringing the concert right to your living room. In celebration of Harlem Week, it's a virtual concert with the Stylistics. It's the Dramatics. And the Blue Notes. We're bringing the concert to your living room. It's all part of the Harlem Week celebration. For more information, go online to harlemweek.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Antoine Lewis from Fox 5 News, and Fox 5 continues to proudly support Harlem Week. Although I myself won't be able to be with you this year for the Percy Sutton 5K Run Walk, I'm with you in spirit for that event and all the events taking place virtually as we all navigate this new norm that we're dealing with right now. Have a happy and blessed Harlem Week 2020. Wear your mask always, and whatever you do, vote in November. I'll see you soon.
Hi, Clayton Banks here from Silicon Harlem, CEO of Silicon Harlem, and a proud executive board member for the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. Here we are in Harlem Week. Once again, we're back with our seasoned citizens. And today, under the banner of demystifying technology, I'm so happy to share with you some of my thoughts around telehealth. If you haven't, sort of engage with telehealth, or maybe you don't even know what telehealth is, let me give you some of my thoughts. And I'm just going to speak about it in just plain language. Telehealth is defined essentially as a way to connect with a health provider without having to physically be there. So literally, whether it's from wherever you live, your home, a center, you can connect with your doctor, your physician, whether it's through a computer, a laptop, a tablet, or even your mobile phone. All those ways to connect with your physician without having to physically go to a hospital or a clinic or having a physical encounter with that physician. So it becomes a very important part of our lives now, because as we saw with COVID-19, the pandemic we're still battling, it's very difficult now to go to a hospital. The amount of patients, the risk of getting sick, are all has to be considered as we move forward through this pandemic. So we saw that about 10 to 11% of people were using telehealth prior to the pandemic. Now we're seeing 50, 60% of the population using telehealth to connect with their health provider. And this is important because I don't want any of us here on this call or anyone that listens to this video at some point, I don't want any of us to fall behind when it comes to accessing these resources. And for many of you, it's good news that as the pandemic hit, the government has actually expanded the reach as it relates to Medicare to get most of your telehealth covered. So it's important that you not only just hear what I'm saying, but do your own research on this. The other reason why I think it's very important, it actually saves money for you, for your caregivers, and it starts to become a little bit more balanced as it relates to the cost of health. Think about that caregiver that has to help their loved one or someone that they're taking care of to get to the hospital to see a doctor. There's a cost in all of that. Just that mobility part there's a cost into that. And being able to do this more remote through telehealth, you can start to mitigate some of those costs. So that's very important, certainly for those who are on fixed incomes and caregivers are already underpaid. So there's an important reason just from a resource perspective to use telehealth. Another excellent reason is because doctors actually become more proficient, much more accessible, and so they will ask you to take a picture, for example, of your skin, and they can actually examine that skin remotely and give you remedies or give you some sort of direction on what you need to solve your issue. That's just an example of many, many, many ways that the physicians are able to help us. We become a lot more able to manage our own health. And it's in exactly the same sort of care you would get physically. And perhaps, like I'm saying, you'll have even much more of an intimate experience. Going to a hospital can sometimes create anxiety, just going to the hospital. So there's another reason why you can start to eliminate that type of activity that oftentimes will accelerate the sickness that you may be dealing with. Another reason, another why, is if you have a chronic disease, something that has been with you for a long time, the ability to manage that at your home is so much more, I think, gratifying than having to constantly go to the doctor to figure out what you have to do next. You can do that remotely with your doctor. There's a lot of opportunity when it comes to telehealth. For those of you who want to be counselors and want to help others, telehealth allows you to do that without having to leave your home. In some cases, health is definitely part of mental health, of loneliness, of all those type of things. Telehealth allows us to have platforms to connect to each other. So these are all reasons why I believe you on this call, if you're in that situation, embrace telehealth as a way, I think, to move your life forward and not get stuck. I would also say, when I think about telehealth, is boy, you can get your prescriptions, you can get examinations. All of these things can be done through your health portal, right? So all of the hospitals, all of the clinics have already started to adopt telehealth as a way to get your services. So it becomes more efficient when everyone's doing it. So you now, again, start to lower your costs and you have much more accessibility. No longer is all these wait times that you have when you go to the hospital. You actually get right to your doctor much quicker because the doctor can be much more efficient when these calls are coming in and coming out. So I'm saying all this to say telehealth is a real thing, driven by technology a lot of ways, but it all has been sort of put together around the patient. So you will find that these platforms, you may need to have at some point someone to maybe guide you at the beginning, but most of it is pretty easy to get into. Most of you already have done some sort of video call with your loved ones or friends, etc. It's not much more different than that with telehealth. Now, I'm going to give you my top 10 things I think you should know when it comes to telehealth. Top 10 things that you should know when it comes to telehealth. Now, of course, all of the tips that I may provide are going to require some fundamental things. You have to have a device, whether it's a computer, a tablet, a smartphone. You get what I'm saying. You have to have a device. Second, you're going to need broadband. That's why you want to keep an eye on Silicon Harlem. But you're going to need broadband. So let's make sure you have a device, you have the broadband, and certainly, as I mentioned earlier, some level of literacy, learning more and more about the platform so you're not struggling having this interaction with your doctors and physicians and caregivers. So that's fundamental, and I did not want to overlook that and for you not to stay on top of that. But I do have this top 10 tips, and I'm going to go through them. They're not in any certain order. Normally, I love to count down. This is not a countdown opportunity. This is an opportunity to really share some ideas for you to think about when it comes to telehealth. Okay? All right, so one of them is, and I'm just going to give you 10. I have like 50, but I'm going to give you my 10 that I think we can consume today. As I mentioned earlier, good news. Medicare pays for many of the telehealth visits, and since COVID-19, as I mentioned, it's been expanded. So take advantage of that just because, right? Because that's been moved by Congress, which takes forever in most cases. They did that right away, and I think we should all know about it and take advantage of it. A telehealth visit, right? This kind of visit we're having right now is almost 50% less in cost than a physical visit. So already, and that's a savings all around, including for yourself. Another tip, it allows for your physician to give you a quick diagnosis. A lot of times when you have to go to the hospital and wait and the doctor is distracted because there's a million things going on, it takes more time. It's a rapid response when you're one-on-one with that doctor over the telehealth portal. This is number 4. You also can prevent unnecessary hospitalizations, right? Whatever's going on, a lot of times when you get to the hospital, it turns out it may not require a night over or a couple of nights over. It was a simple thing that the doctor could have done over the phone or something like that. So telehealth allows us to get a lot of this done very quickly and efficiently. So therefore, my 5th one, I guess, is good for both the patient and the physician. Both benefit from telehealth. That's good news. Number 6, even some of the things that you have on a regular that you would go to the hospital, you can now do at home. One of those that come to mind is physical therapy, right? So a doctor can literally be with you in the room remotely and helping you to do your physical therapy, or maybe your caregiver's there and all of you are working together through telehealth to do your physical therapy. That's just one example of many of why delivering services over a telehealth portal is really good. Oh, how about consultation on demand? Instead of just always having like a long time, calendar date that you have to, work for to get to the hospital, these things become much more quicker in terms of response. So you literally are doing things like, oh, you know what? I really need to I want to avoid going to an emergency room, which a lot of us do because we want, attention right away. Doctors are going to be much more, I think, available over the telehealth portal. So again, it's almost like, consultation on demand. So you're getting it right away. The ability through telehealth to send photos and videos of yourself to the doctors is really good because they want to look at your feet, they want to look at your face, they want to see the over time changes that may be happening and be able to give you the kind of advice and structure that you might need to remedy some of these things. Number 9, this is my 9th one already, I believe. Good news with telehealth, everything becomes quite digital. And where most of this movement is going is that you are actually able to access and control and maybe even track your data, right? So the more you are doing the telehealth, the more access you have to your actual records and watch the trajectory of your health. So I think that's a really good reason why you want to utilize telehealth. And finally, I think, for example, telehealth can make things a little bit safer for patients. You don't have to go into a hospital that you might be able to catch an get some sort of infectious exposure. So by not having to go there and, staying at your home or wherever you may be staying, it's safer for you. And I think that's something we all want. If you look at the history of hospitals, it's not always been perfect for a senior citizen. So to be able to manage your health through telehealth and not get exposed to some of those infectious issues that happen in those clinics, etc., it's a good thing. So enough about that. I just wanted to say I love you because without you, I wouldn't be here. In other words, I really honor those who came before me. And I also believe that your generation knew a lot about this back in the day. Help me out, somebody. What I'm saying to you is you knew about this back in the day when you were watching various types of shows and cartoons and programs and movies, and you read about NASA and you read about what was going on in other parts of the world. You knew this was coming. You knew the technology was growing. Martin Luther King used to talk about it all the time. There was people talking about technology all the time. So you've known this day was coming. And that at this age that you may be at this point in time actually reflects what you learned early in life. So the good news is this is not that surprising. But who knew how it was going to unveil and what skills you might have to have in order to operate? Well, that's why we're here today. I want you to think about having to partner with somebody that you think has some capability with a device to help you make this transition into telehealth. If you can't do it yourself, which I believe you can, but in the event that you need a little bit of training or a little bit of help, get that and move forward as a telehealth patient, because I think it's not that you won't ever see your doctor again, but it will help you move forward and manage your own health within your own home. And that's where most of us want to be, is at home. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to a final piece to this presentation, which is a video that talks about current and sort of what we see future in terms of managing your health as we get into our senior citizen years of our life. And I want to thank you. I want to thank the Chamber for allowing me to do this every year, demystifying technology. I want to thank you for showing up every year. And I certainly am looking forward to connecting anytime and every time that we possibly can. I'm Clayton Banks. I'm CEO of Silicon Harlem. And I can't wait to see how all of us get on this telemarketing platform, because this telehealth platform, because it's so important in all of our lives. Thank you very much.
Come on, Cookie. I don't know how you're supposed to feel at 86, but I don't think I feel like I'm 86.
Surprise!
People make my world go round. I fear isolation and being cut off. If I am alone somewhere and I had no one to talk to, no one to share anything with, I bet you I would just dry up and blow away. I call this my smart house. We got sensors in all the rooms. I swallow them. I wear them. Doc knows what's going on with me. I don't have to go to the clinic anymore. I call him up. He's not back in the horse and buggy days.
Looks like you had a pretty active week, huh?
I'm feeling it too.
Hey, guys. How do you like your ride?
Knowing I got eyes on me gives me the confidence to keep me being who I am, doing what I want to do. Frees me up. Takes the worry away. I don't have to worry about Paige, my daughter. Hey, kiddo, what's up?
I'm just checking in.
Because I know she's not worried about me. She's always busy, work and kids, but she can see exactly how I'm doing.
I love you, Dad.
That she knows how I feel before I do. Cookie has become my buddy,
Time for your pill, Jim.
my wingman. Hey, Cookie, what time is that car going to be here?
2 minutes. It's cold out. Might want to bring a coat.
It's like he has a brain. Now, what are you doing, Cookie?
It's a quick
I have come to rely on him. I know I can trust him, and he's got my back. I lost Ellen, my wife, 10 years ago. So many good times, so many memories. Losing her was really tough. If we had had for her then what we have for me now, she would have been in a much better place. I miss her so much. Here, not too long ago, I was experiencing those dizzy spells. The doctor had provided a scan for me at home, so I didn't have to go out to the clinic or anything.
They have those scans for that patient. Take a look.
And that scan revealed that I had an aneurysm. I saw this specialist, a surgeon, and she explained to me, we wouldn't have a messy operation. They inject these nanobots and they go into your system.
Basically, we're going to send in an army of nanobots of the aneurysm.
And they find where the aneurysm is and
Fixing it.
they seal it off. I get a kick out of thinking that I have a whole bunch of nanobots swimming around up here in my brain, doing what they're supposed to do. I wasn't in a hospital. I was back home.
Oh dear.
I was back home where I want to be, where I belong. The help that I have allows me to stay here in my home. Who is that? Do you remember? The guy in the back.
Who is that?
Have my friends here,
That's Pete.
my family, and I don't want to give that up. I don't want to be in a nursing home. The quickest way to lose your independence is to go where you don't have any independence. That's the truth.
It's harder than ever to get ahead. Chase Secure Banking is right there with you to help with the convenience to manage your money from the Chase mobile app. Plus, it helps you spend only what you have. Because you want to get ahead of your expenses and want to get ahead in life. Chase Secure Banking, helping you get ahead. Open a Chase Secure Banking account today with no minimum deposit.
Since you can't go to concerts, now we're bringing the concert right to your living room. In celebration of Harlem Week, it's a virtual concert with the Stylistics. It's the Dramatics. And the Blue Notes. We're bringing the concert to your living room. It's all part of the Harlem Week celebration. For more information, go online to harlemweek.com.